The rain fell in hard, cold sheets the night. Ethan Turner, a single dad and part-time mechanic, found a man curled beside a dumpster behind the gas station. At first glance, Ethan thought it was just another stranger trying to escape the storm. But then the man lifted his bruised face and whispered, trembling, "Please, don't hit me. I'm already hurt." Those 7 words froze Ethan. Not because he was afraid, but because the voice, a shaky, broken version of it, was one he recognized from a place he never expected: the evening news, corporate podcasts, and framed magazine covers all across the city. The man begging not to be hit was Nathan Cole, billionaire CEO, untouchable business giant. The man who had everything: money, power, protection, now lying helpless, scared like a child. Before the story continues, friends, if you're new here, tap that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. It really helps our channel, TruthLines USA, bring you more real, emotional storytelling that touches the heart. Now, let's begin. Ethan set his umbrella down slowly, so he wouldn't startle the man. The rain soaked through his shirt as he knelt beside him, trying to understand how someone like Nathan Cole had ended up alone in a dark alley, drenched and bruised. "I'm not here to hurt you," Ethan said gently. "I'm just trying to help. Can you stand?" Nathan flinched, pressing himself against the wall like a cornered animal. It was clear he had been attacked. His lip was split, his suit torn, his left eye swelling shut. But the thing that struck Ethan the most was the fear. Pure, shaking fear on the face of a man the world believed feared nothing. Finally, Nathan let Ethan help him to his feet. The CEO could barely put weight on his leg, and his breathing was shallow, strained. Ethan guided him to his old pickup truck and eased him inside, brushing broken glass from the seat before Nathan sat down. "I'll take you to the hospital," Ethan said. "No," Nathan croaked. "Please, no police, no reporters." Ethan nodded, though confusion circled in his mind. "All right, my place then. You need warmth and first aid. Nothing fancy, but it's safe." Nathan closed his eyes and exhaled, the relief almost childlike. "Safe, that's all I need." Ethan lived in a small, cozy rental home on the city's edge. He didn't have much, but the heat worked, the lights stayed on, and his daughter Lily always made it feel like the warmest place in the world. When they arrived, 12-year-old Lily looked up from the kitchen table where she was doing homework. She gasped softly when she saw Nathan, but Ethan gave her a small nod, silently asking her not to panic. "Hi," she said gently, her voice softening in that natural way kids have when they sense someone is hurting. "Can I get you some water?" Nathan nodded. "Thank you," he whispered, avoiding her eyes as though embarrassed to be seen like that. Ethan sat the CEO down on the couch and went to retrieve his old first aid kit. Nathan winced as Ethan cleaned his cuts, but he didn't complain. He seemed humbled, fragile even. After a few quiet minutes, Nathan finally spoke. "My driver was taking me home. We were stopped at a red light, and a truck blocked us in. 2 men pulled him out, beat him, and came for me. They kept yelling that I'd ruined their lives, that I'd stolen their jobs." Ethan paused. He remembered the headlines. Nathan's company had laid off thousands after an automated system replaced manual work. Many families had been devastated, but Ethan didn't judge him. "Not tonight. Not like this. You're safe here," Ethan said firmly. Nathan swallowed hard. "Why are you helping me? You don't even know me." Ethan shook his head. "I know someone who's hurt. That's enough." The hours passed slowly. Nathan drifted in and out of sleep, his head resting against an old pillow Lily had brought him. Every once in a while, he'd whisper something, words like "sorry" or "I didn't mean to." The next morning, the storm had faded, replaced with pale sunlight. Nathan looked better, but still shaken. He tried to stand on his own, insisting he should leave before he became a burden. Ethan crossed his arms. "You're not going anywhere until you can walk without wincing. And even then, you're having breakfast first." Lily already made pancakes. Nathan stared at him, confused. "You're being kinder to me than half the people who work for me, and I'm the one signing their checks." "Money doesn't buy kindness," Ethan said simply. Nathan was quiet for a long moment, then nodded. After breakfast, Nathan asked Ethan if he could step outside for some air. Ethan followed him to the porch, unsure if the man would collapse again without support. Nathan leaned against the rail, staring out at the small yard where Lily had left her chalk drawings on the pavement. hearts, stars, and a stick figure family. Do you think I deserved what happened? Nathan asked suddenly. His voice was low, but steady. Ethan considered the question carefully. No one deserves violence, he said. But maybe you've been so high up for so long that you couldn't see what was happening below. People were hurting. Real families. Nathan closed his eyes, breathing deeply. I didn't mean for anyone to suffer. I was so focused on growing the company, on staying ahead, that I forgot to look behind me. Ethan nodded. The world's full of people trying to survive, Nathan. Sometimes they just need someone to notice. Nathan looked over at him, and for the first time, his expression wasn't fearful or ashamed. It was grateful. Later that afternoon, a black SUV pulled up to the house. Nathan's assistant, frantic and pale, rushed toward him. Mr. Cole, thank God we found you. Are you all right? We need to take you home. Nathan didn't move. He looked at Ethan, then at Lily, who waved shyly from the doorway. Before I go, Nathan said, turning back to Ethan, I need to know your name. Ethan Turner, he said. Single dad. Mechanic. Nothing special. Nathan's expression softened in a way Ethan had never seen on television or magazine covers. You're wrong. What you did for me, that was special. He reached into his wallet and tried to hand Ethan a thick stack of bills. Ethan shook his head. I didn't help you for money. Nathan slowly put the money away. Then tell me how I can repay you. Ethan smiled faintly. Be kind. To the people who work for you. To the people who don't. Kindness goes farther than any CEO title. Nathan nodded deeply, almost like a vow. A week later, the news exploded with headlines. Coal Industries announces major policy shift. CEO promises new job programs and community support. Nathan Cole stood at the podium during a press conference, looking nothing like the polished executive people were used to. There was a humility in his shoulders, a sincerity in his voice. He talked about second chances, about responsibility, about rebuilding trust. But the line that made the entire country pause was this. I survived something frightening recently, and I was shown kindness by someone who owed me nothing. That kindness changed me. From this day forward, I promise to lead not with pride, but with compassion. Ethan watched the speech from his small living room, Lily leaning on his shoulder. He didn't need recognition. He didn't need thanks. But knowing that a simple act of kindness had sparked something bigger, that mattered. A few days later, a letter arrived at Ethan's home. Inside was a handwritten note from Nathan. You reminded me of the humanity I'd forgotten. I will never forget you. Beneath it was a scholarship certificate for Lily, full tuition to any college she chose when the time came. Ethan felt tears sting his eyes. He hadn't expected anything like that. But it wasn't the money that touched him. It was the sincerity behind it. A man once lost in power had remembered what it meant to be human. Kindness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it kneels beside a stranger in the rain and says, I'm here. You're safe. And sometimes, that whisper changes someone powerful enough to change the lives of thousands. So, if you're watching this right now, remember Ethan. Remember Nathan. Remember that kindness isn't weakness. It's strength in its purest form. And you never know whose life you'll change with something as simple as compassion. Be kind today. Be kind tomorrow. And let kindness be the thing you're remembered for.